They say rare moments appear only once, and today, October 30th, one such moment stands before you. A moment that whispers to the few who are truly awake, calling the chosen to step beyond the ordinary. Not everyone will sense it. Not everyone will feel its pull. This is not about privilege or chance. It is about awakening from the fog of routine, about recognizing the subtle currents that guide life when one is ready to listen. I am Shi Hengyi, and in this journey, you will uncover teachings rarely spoken aloud, rooted in the ancient wisdom of Shaolin masters. You will learn how stillness shapes strength, how observing the shadows within reveals hidden power, and how daily discipline becomes the gateway to higher awareness. We will explore the art of aligning mind, body, and spirit, discovering how each breath and every movement carries energy that can transform your very being. By the end of this video, you will understand the principles that distinguish those who merely exist from those who move with purpose, clarity, and mastery. Secrets passed down through generations, often overlooked or forgotten, will unfold before you. These are lessons that do not demand belief, but observation, patience, and the courage to face oneself. Every second holds a subtle invitation, every choice a reflection of inner alignment. The golden realm awaits only those prepared to answer, and this video will guide you toward that threshold. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, a place where ancient wisdom meets mindful mastery. Subscribe now and join a path of awakening that stretches far beyond ordinary understanding. Step quietly, watch closely, and open yourself to the knowledge that has guided the chosen for centuries. There is a place within each of us where light moves differently, where clarity feels almost tangible and time seems to slow. This place is the Golden Realm, a realm not bound by space or circumstance, but by the depth of your own awareness. It is not a land to be discovered on a map, nor a treasure to be seized through effort alone. It is a state of consciousness, a luminous space where mind, body, and spirit move in quiet harmony. In this space, every breath becomes a teacher. The mind must learn stillness, observing without judgment, letting thoughts settle like sediment in water. The body must move with intention, whether in motion or in rest, each action an echo of inner alignment. The spirit, subtle and unseen, calls for surrender, for trust in the currents that flow beneath the surface of ordinary life. Only when all three converge can the golden realm be touched. Many seek enlightenment as though it were a distant summit, unaware that the path itself is the portal. In Shaolin practice, every strike, every stance, every disciplined hour of training is not preparation for something outside. It is the act of entering, moment by moment, into higher consciousness. The Golden Realm is both the goal and the journey, a reflection of how deeply one can inhabit the present. Those who step lightly yet deliberately through this inner gate begin to notice subtleties that others miss, the energy in a simple breath, the resonance of silence, the hidden patterns that shape life. They learn that mastery is not accumulation, but attunement. And in this attunement, the ordinary becomes sacred, and the chosen find themselves moving in rhythm with a greater intelligence, a force that has guided seekers since time beyond memory. The world moves quickly, and yet the most profound power lies in stillness. To truly live, one must learn to inhabit each moment fully, letting the noise of the outside world fade into the background. Presence is not simply noticing what happens around you. It is the quiet discipline of noticing what happens within every breath, every thought, every movement, becomes a thread in the fabric of awareness. Ancient Shaolin masters understood that mastery begins with this attention. A hand strike is not merely physical, it is guided by a mind completely attuned to the body, a body guided by the subtle currents of spirit. Even the smallest lapse in focus, an unobserved thought, a distracted glance, ripples outward, weakening the power that arises from concentrated presence. True clarity emerges not in haste, but in careful cultivation of the mind's ability to remain centered, unwavering, and alert. Daily life offers countless invitations to test this skill. A conversation, a task, or even a quiet walk can either scatter energy or strengthen it, depending on whether the mind clings to the past or drifts toward the future. Mindfulness is the bridge that connects intention to action, that transforms ordinary moments into opportunities for inner growth. Through consistent practice, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. The body moves with precision, guided by a calm awareness. Thoughts no longer control the self. The self guides the mind. Energy that was once wasted on distraction becomes concentrated, sharp, and luminous. In this space, discipline is not punishment. It is freedom. Presence becomes a force, a quiet but unshakable power that shapes perception, decision, and action. The path of mindfulness is subtle, often unseen by others, yet it is the foundation upon which all higher mastery is built. To inhabit each moment fully is to step into the current of life itself, moving with intention, grace, and an unspoken strength that grows quietly, steadily, and endlessly. Each day holds a quiet invitation, a chance to shape not only the hours but the very essence of being. Rituals are the bridges between intention and reality. Small acts repeated with care that gradually transform the mind and body. The ancients understood this deeply. Mastery is not born from sudden insight, but from the gentle, persistent rhythm of disciplined practice. Simple routines, rising with the sun, moving with awareness, sitting in meditation, reflecting in stillness, become the scaffolding of awakening. Each act, no matter how ordinary it appears, carries weight when performed with attention. A single breath observed fully, a movement executed with care, a thought noticed without attachment. These are the seeds from which clarity, strength, and presence grow. Consistency is the hidden force that shapes destiny. Sporadic effort may bring fleeting glimpses of insight, but it cannot forge lasting transformation. The body learns what the mind intends only through repetition. The mind steadies itself only through habit. The spirit opens only through patient attention. Rituals anchor the self in the present, creating a sanctuary within the ordinary flow of life. Shaolin masters teach that discipline is not a burden, but a channel for energy, a quiet alignment of action with awareness. In this rhythm, life itself becomes a teacher. Challenges that once scattered attention now reveal patterns, opportunities, and lessons. Energy no longer leaks through distraction or indecision. It is concentrated, luminous, and directed. Over time, the simple acts of daily discipline shape the very character of the practitioner. The mundane becomes sacred. The ordinary day becomes a training ground for mastery. And in this persistent devotion, the path unfolds not as a distant goal, but as a lived experience, present in every breath, every movement, every deliberate choice. Silence is not empty, it is alive with possibility. In the quiet spaces between thoughts, the mind begins to speak in subtle, profound ways. The ancients recognized that the greatest truths are not shouted or displayed, but revealed to those willing to sit with themselves, undisturbed, attentive, and patient. In this inner stillness, insight arises naturally, without force or striving. Shaolin teachings hold silence as a form of practice, a discipline as essential as movement or strength. The mind, like turbulent water, must settle before the reflection of reality becomes clear. Observing thoughts without attachment, watching emotions without judgment. This is the way the mind learns its own rhythms. Every fleeting impulse becomes a teacher, every unspoken tension a guide, showing where attention is lost and where clarity can be reclaimed. Noise, both external and internal, conceals the doorway to higher consciousness. Only when the chatter of fear, doubt, and distraction subsides does the golden realm become perceptible. It is not hidden by distance or time. It has always been present, waiting for the mind to align with stillness, waiting for the heart to notice. In cultivating inner silence, discipline becomes subtle yet powerful. The practice is not about emptying the mind, but about creating space for truth to enter. Each pause, each breath observed fully, each quiet moment spent in mindful attention strengthens this capacity. Energy no longer fragments across fleeting impulses, but coalesces into focus, clarity, and purpose. Those who master inner silence learn to move through life with a calm vigilance. Decisions arise from insight rather than reaction, presence replaces chaos, and the rhythm of existence feels guided rather than forced. In this quiet observance, the golden realm is no longer distant or imagined, it becomes a lived reality, a luminous state accessible to those who have learned to listen deeply to themselves. Within every seeker lies a part often hidden, a shadow that whispers doubts, stirs fear, and tests patience. To walk the path of mastery is not to ignore this darkness, but to meet it with steady eyes and a calm heart. Shaolin wisdom teaches that true strength is born not from avoidance, but from the courage to face what resides within. Every fear confronted, every ego tamed, every hidden impulse observed becomes a stepping stone toward clarity and balance. The shadow is not an enemy. It is a mirror. It reveals where attachment, pride, or unexamined patterns have taken root. Those who shy away remain trapped in cycles of reaction, unaware of the forces that guide their behavior. But those who observe without judgment learn that these inner currents, once acknowledged, can be redirected with intention and discipline. Transformation begins the moment resistance fades. Accepting the shadow does not mean surrendering to it, nor does it justify indulgence. It is the act of seeing clearly, of understanding the full spectrum of self. In this acknowledgement, energy once spent on denial or repression becomes available for growth. Strength, clarity, and resilience emerge from this integration, subtle but unshakable. Shaolin practice embodies this philosophy through both meditation and movement. Every stance, every strike, every deliberate breath trains the mind to remain centered even when confronted with inner turbulence. Mastery is not perfection, but the ability to navigate inner storms with composure, to allow darkness to inform light rather than obscure it. Those who embrace their shadows move through life with a quiet authority. They understand the hidden currents of human nature, the motives beneath surface actions, and the power of acceptance over resistance. In facing what others flee, they cultivate a depth of wisdom and presence that becomes the foundation for every step toward higher consciousness. Energy moves silently, shaping life in ways often unseen. Every thought sparks a current, every emotion carries momentum, and every action leaves an imprint. To walk the path of mastery is to become aware of these flows, to notice how subtle forces within can either scatter attention or focus it with precision. The golden realm, like a hidden stream, is accessible only when these energies are aligned, flowing in harmony rather than conflict. Shaolin teachings have long emphasized the connection between body, mind, and spirit. Breath anchors the mind, grounding awareness in the present. Posture communicates intention, directing energy through every fiber of the body. Each movement practiced with discipline and mindfulness becomes a channel for life force, a conduit through which inner power manifests in calm, deliberate action. Daily life is a constant test of this alignment. Frustration, worry, or haste disrupts the current, leaving the mind restless and the body tense. Awareness, cultivated through consistent practice, transforms these disturbances into lessons. By observing the way energy shifts, one learns to guide it, redirecting scattered impulses into purposeful momentum. Even a simple step, a slow exhale, or a mindful gesture becomes an exercise in harmonization, a training of presence and attention. Through mindful movement, energy becomes fluid, responsive, and precise. Shaolin exercises, though external in form, serve as mirrors of the inner state. The body moves with clarity because the mind is steady. The mind is steady because the spirit is attuned. In this alignment, ordinary life becomes a practice ground, and ordinary moments become portals to higher awareness. Those who master energy flow do not act recklessly or react impulsively. Each thought, each motion, each breath carries intent, creating a rhythm that resonates with the unseen currents of life. In this harmony, the golden realm is no longer distant. It emerges naturally as the body, mind, and spirit move as one, luminous and alive. Freedom begins not in gaining, but in letting go. The mind clings to outcomes, the heart to possessions, and the spirit to expectations, weaving invisible chains that bind even the strongest seeker. Shaolin philosophy teaches that true mastery is not in controlling the world, but in mastering the self, learning to move through life with lightness, clarity, and awareness. Non-attachment does not mean indifference. It is not the rejection of desire, but the understanding of it. Desire, when recognized and observed, becomes a tool rather than a master. The chosen learn to step lightly, carrying only what serves growth and shedding what weighs them down. Each attachment left behind creates space. Space for insight, for presence, for the subtle currents of energy that guide higher consciousness. Daily life offers countless opportunities to practice this art. A missed opportunity, an unexpected outcome, a fleeting disappointment. These moments test the heart's ability to remain unbound. The mind that resists becomes restless, the body tense and the spirit heavy. But when one observes without grasping, when one acts without clinging, even challenges become lessons, and every moment becomes a chance to cultivate inner freedom. Shaolin teachings emphasize that mastery over desire arises through discipline and mindful observation. Each thought checked, each impulse observed, each expectation released is a small act of liberation. Over time, these acts accumulate, creating a life that is lighter, more fluid, and deeply attuned to the rhythms of the present. The chosen move through the world without unnecessary burden. They are not weighed down by fear of loss or craving for reward. In this freedom, every action is deliberate, every decision measured, and every breath aligned with awareness. Non-attachment is not absence. It is presence in its purest form, a stillness that allows the golden realm to unfold naturally without interference within and around them. Life is a mirror, quietly reflecting what is often hidden beneath the surface. Every event, every interaction, and every emotion carries a lesson, a subtle message waiting to be noticed. Shaolin philosophy teaches that wisdom does not arrive only in extraordinary moments. It is woven into the patterns of daily life, visible to those who cultivate attentive observation. By watching oneself with honesty and patience, the mind begins to reveal its hidden rhythms. Habits, reactions, and recurring emotions are not random. They are signals pointing toward unexamined desires, fears, or imbalances. Each time the same frustration arises, each time a pattern repeats, it is an invitation to pause, reflect, and adjust. Awareness turns repetition into insight, and insight into mastery. Observing life requires more than noticing external events. It demands turning the gaze inward. The way one responds to challenge, the subtle shifts in mood, the unspoken impulses all carry meaning. In these small details, the lessons of life emerge. The Shaolin path emphasizes this inward vigilance, teaching that the present moment is a teacher, and clarity comes from recognizing patterns rather than resisting them. Through disciplined awareness, life's currents become less chaotic and more legible. Energy is no longer scattered in reactive cycles, but flows with intention and understanding. A moment of irritation becomes a chance to practice patience. A lapse in judgment becomes a lesson in discernment. Every choice, observed carefully, contributes to a growing mastery over self. Those who cultivate observation move through life with heightened clarity. They see connections others miss, notice consequences before they arise, and recognize the subtle guidance offered by each circumstance. Life, once opaque, becomes a living tapestry of patterns, each thread an opportunity to learn, refine, and awaken to the deeper truths that govern existence. True mastery is not found in thought alone, nor in strength alone, nor in moral intent alone. It arises when mind, body, and spirit move as one, each reflecting and supporting the others. Shaolin teachings have long emphasized that spiritual awakening is not a solitary experience of meditation or contemplation. It is a lived harmony, cultivated through discipline, movement, and ethical awareness. The mind, sharp and attentive, must observe with clarity. Without reflection, insight is scattered, like light fractured through a prism. The body, trained and disciplined, anchors the mind, translating thought into action with precision and intention. Martial movements, stances, and controlled breath become not exercises of power, but channels for energy and focus. linking physical presence to inner calm. The spirit, subtle and unseen, guides both mind and body toward integrity, compassion, and balance. Daily practice reveals how each element strengthens the others. Meditation cultivates calm, which steadies posture and movement. Ethical action nurtures awareness, which sharpens focus and presence. Bodily discipline reinforces patience, resilience, and the capacity to remain centered even amid chaos. When these three converge, mastery is no longer an abstract goal but a living state, reflected in every choice, every motion, every thought aligned with principle and awareness. The path is subtle, demanding attention to the smallest details. A breath taken with intent, a step executed with care, a decision guided by moral clarity. These are the threads that weave mind, body, and spirit into a unified whole. Shaolin wisdom teaches that harmony is not instantaneous. It is cultivated, refined, and lived every day. Those who achieve this integration move with quiet authority. Their presence is steady, their actions deliberate, and their consciousness expansive. In this alignment, the ordinary becomes sacred, and the journey of awakening transforms from an idea into a tangible, embodied reality. There are moments in time that hold a weight beyond the ordinary. Moments when the currents of life align in subtle but powerful ways. October 30th is one such moment. A portal not of place but of consciousness. It is a rare window when the energies of mind, body, and spirit converge, offering passage to those prepared to step fully into awareness. This portal does not open for everyone. It calls only to those who have cultivated discipline, who have trained attention through mindfulness, and who have learned to move with presence rather than reaction. The world may continue in its familiar rhythm, unaware of the subtle shift beneath its surface. Yet for those attuned, the day carries a resonance, a quiet invitation to act with clarity, to reflect with honesty, and to embody the principles that guide inner mastery. Preparation is invisible but essential. Every disciplined habit, every moment of stillness, every act of non-attachment forms the threshold through which one may pass. Shaolin philosophy teaches that the outer world is a reflection of inner alignment. Only when the mind is calm, the body steady, and the spirit receptive can the portal be perceived and entered. To stand at this threshold is to recognize the power of intention. Action taken with awareness resonates far beyond the moment, shaping patterns of thought, energy, and being. Observation alone is not enough. Presence must be paired with deliberate practice, reflection, and ethical choice. Those who respond to this call do so with quiet confidence, moving lightly yet purposefully, aware that the portal is both an opportunity and a responsibility. In this alignment, the ordinary transforms. Each breath, each gesture, each decision carries significance. October 30th is more than a date, it is an energetic doorway. For the chosen who have prepared, it offers a step into higher consciousness, a passage into the golden realm, and a chance to embody mastery in its fullest expression. The golden realm is a reflection of the inner self, a state of being shaped by awareness, discipline, and harmony. It is not found in distant places or external achievements, but in the quiet moments when mind, body, and spirit move together in balance. Shaolin teachings guide us to face our shadows, align our energy, and live each day with mindful presence, showing that true mastery is cultivated, step by step, breath by breath. October 30th serves as a reminder that these opportunities are rare, and only those who have prepared through consistent practice and reflection will feel the subtle currents of this moment. Yet the lesson extends beyond a single day. Every day offers a chance to act with clarity, to observe without judgment, and to live lightly yet deliberately. By integrating these principles into daily life, each choice becomes an opportunity to move closer to harmony and inner clarity. May this understanding inspire gentle awareness in every action, patience in every challenge, and presence in every moment. Step forward with calm intention, allowing the wisdom of the golden realm to guide your path. If this message resonates, join our journey at Shaolin Soulfire. Subscribe to explore more teachings, and like this video to share the path of mindful mastery with others. Let each day be a step toward balance, insight, and the quiet power that arises when we move through life fully awake.